We tend to think that systems are built for control. That all the rules and procedures and safeguards are there to eliminate mistakes and make things predictable. But here's the paradox. This constant chase for perfect safety, it doesn't actually lead to a stable system. It creates a totally different, much deeper kind of failure, one that's born from the very idea of prevention itself. Think about it. Every single rule is basically a scar. It's a permanent reminder of something that went wrong in the past. It always starts out as a completely rational, logical response to a real problem that someone saw and wanted to fix. But the problem gets solved, and yet the solution, the rule, it doesn't just disappear. It hardens. It becomes a permanent part of the structure, like a new wall in a maze. And from that point on, it quietly starts to change how everything works, forcing all future actions down a very specific path. To see how this works, let's picture the simplest system possible. Just a wooden plank laid across a small gap. Its job is direct, its design is minimal. It's there for one reason and one reason only, to get you from one side to the other. But of course, no system is perfect. Eventually, it's gonna fail in some way. And when it does, the reaction is fast, it's logical, and it's meant to be final. The fix can't just be a temporary patch. No, it has to become a permanent part of the system. So, someone nearly falls, a deviation from the expected outcome is noted. The risk is now clear, it's been identified, and so a solution is engineered, a handrail. The logic here is perfect, right? It's a direct, targeted fix designed to get rid of one specific, observed way the system can fail. And that's the fundamental cycle right there. Something goes wrong, a new constraint is added, and that particular something can't go wrong anymore. It's this perfect, closed loop of rational problem solving. And you know what? The fix works. On a local level, it's a complete success. The risk of somebody slipping off the side of the plank has been completely engineered away. By that measure, the system is absolutely safer. But every solution has a consequence. There's an unintended change to the structure that you can't really see right away. The system still works, sure, but it's not the same simple system it was before. Now, here's the thing. This little cycle of correction, it doesn't just happen once. It's a constant process. Every time a new risk is identified, the cycle repeats, and a new layer of constraints gets piled on top of the old ones. So the wood might rot. Okay, that's a new risk. The logical solution? Replace it with steel. But wait, steel is slippery when it rains. Another risk. The logical fix? You add a roof. Each of these changes is a totally sensible response to a new problem. If you look at each decision by itself, you can't really argue with it. As these fixes pile up, they create a new kind of hidden cost. Let's call it an administrative burden. It's the total amount of energy you now have to spend just to navigate the system. The cost of following all the rules, in time, in attention, it starts to climb, and it goes way beyond what was needed for the system's original goal. The very first thing you can actually see and feel is that everything gets slower. The path from one side to the other just isn't as direct anymore. Getting around all these new structures takes more steps, which means it takes more time. The system just isn't as fast as it used to be. But it's actually about more than just a loss of speed. It's a loss of options. Alternative ways of doing things get shut down. The system's ability to adapt is being slowly traded away in exchange for procedural certainty. Now there's really only one approved, fortified, and monitored way to do things. This growing rigidity starts to produce something new, an emergent property. In its quest for perfect, flawless predictability, the system has created a brand new, hidden vulnerability. The simple plank is long gone. What's left in its place is this complex, over-engineered structure. It's not a simple path anymore. It's more like a fortress designed to defend against every single possible failure its builders could ever imagine. So a fundamental trade-off has happened here, and most of the time nobody even consciously decided to make it. Adaptability has been swapped for rigidity, and human judgment has been swapped for mechanical procedure. There's actually a name for this state. It's called trained incapacity. It's what happens when following the procedure becomes so ingrained that it completely overshadows the original purpose of the system. The people inside it become masters of the process, not the outcome. They are experts at navigating the bridge, not at just crossing the gap. And this is the emergent failure. The very structure that was built to eliminate all the known risks has created a new and catastrophic one, a total inability to adapt to anything unknown. It is perfectly optimized for the past, and because of that, it's dangerously fragile when it comes to the future. Eventually, this process reaches its natural conclusion, and what looked like a whole bunch of separate, independent fixes is revealed to be a single, unstoppable process, all governed by its own relentless internal logic. The sociologist Max Weber gave this structure a name. He called it the iron cage, a system of such perfect rational control that it becomes impossible to escape. Each logical fix, each sensible safeguard, it was just another bar being welded into place. Our bridge is finally complete. It's immune to all the old risks it was designed to prevent. It is permanent. It is unchangeable. It has reached a state of absolute, irreversible stability. And this leads us to the final structural insight. We've been looking at the system's flaws, its slowness, its rigidity, as if they're just unfortunate side effects of trying to be safe. But that's assuming we've diagnosed the problem correctly. What if? What if these aren't flaws at all? What if the system's true unstated goal was never really just safety, but the total elimination of all variation? The complete removal of human judgment, of deviation, of any kind of risk from the equation. If you look at it that way, a slow system isn't a bug, it's a feature. It is proof that the system is working exactly as intended. This is the real paradox of prevention. This system that we see as broken, slow, and fragile, it's not failing. It's a perfect success. It is flawlessly executing the only logic it was ever given, to eliminate every single deviation at any cost, one rational correction at a time.